What is up, you geezers, blow tie geezers? It is Chris Modernine here. Chelsea scraping yet another away victory, this time against Crystal Palace. The final game of 2018. Now, just to get the statistics and the league table out of the way and the situation of our position in the Premier League, it does benefit us greatly, this victory, because it does help us to gain ground on Tottenham, you know, having seen them lose 3-1 at home against Wolves. And, well, it moves us further away from Arsenal because they were absolutely humiliated by a very, very, very unbeatable Liverpool side. I mean, 5-1. I mean, blimey, that was... Like, I hate Liverpool, but I've got to be honest, Liverpool playing probably the best football they've ever played for years. And, well, they're looking like they're winning their first league title in about under 20 years, so... Still terrible. Anyway, moving on to more important matters. So, 1-0 over Crystal Palace. Now, despite the fact that it's an important result for obvious reasons, as I've already stated, I want to sort of like talk about specific things that we are still doing, and it reflects on previous games that we've recently been watching. Most notably, the Leicester game, the Brighton game, the Watford game. They all have similar things about them in terms of the way that we are playing, and that is the passing game. Now, if you remember in the first half, we had 8 shots at Crystal Palace's goal. Crystal Palace, by the way, didn't threaten us at all in the first half. We had 8 shots at goal, but only one of them was on target. Now, what does that tell you? It tells me a few things. Now, despite the fact that all we're doing is passing and passing and passing, we are passing around the defence, trying to create an opening, and there's just literally no end product. But when we do have a chance on goal, we're hardly threatening. Now, obviously, this is a big problem. I mean, when you think that Sarri ball has a lot of potential, and all we're doing is passing, but we're not delivering, there's obviously a cause for concern. What do we do with this? Well, obviously, we're being patient, just like we've done many, many years before. But if this isn't working, then what do we do? What do we do? Do we try and go direct? Is that what we need to do more of? Is that what Sarri ball's all about? I don't know. Is Sarri ball an impatient way of playing football? I don't know what it is. But the fact that we are passing around and not having any kind of intensity is a bit of a concern. Now, this is what we were watching throughout the entire first half. The first half wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was something in between. And I think that's what it was all about, basically. Second half, we came out of the blocks a little bit in the second half. Of course, Kante with a very important goal. I mean, that ball from David Luiz to start off with, that was very, very impressive. Kante making a very impressive run behind the Crystal Palace defence, collecting the ball really well, and then just finishing it. I mean, it came off the goalkeeper as it went in. It sort of rolled in the net, but, you know, they all count at the end of the day. And, you know, one goal... If it means that's the only goal that helps us get the win, I'm all for it, you know. The other few bits and pieces in terms of that game, Giroud, I've got to be honest, he was the most unluckiest player on the pitch today. 2 absolute bangers into the net, and both of them were disallowed because he was offside. The first one, when he kind of shot across the goalkeeper and went into the far corner, I think. Yeah, that was offside. And then the other one in the second half that actually resulted in him coming off because he sort of like picked up some kind of injury, and then Morata came on. I think that second one was a bit up for debate, to be honest. It was more of a... He was almost on line with the defender as the ball was played, and then he ran behind the defence. I don't know how you call that offside, but I don't know. But, you know, another player that always likes to call himself offside, Morata came on. When he came on, he just didn't do enough. And this is what I mean, like... I look at Morata at the moment, and I just think he just has to go. He just has to go. I mean, he didn't do enough because he didn't play enough minutes, but there was enough there to just prove that he's just not Chelsea standard. I mean, there was that time where he had plenty of time on the ball. I think there was like one chance he had where he ran towards the goal, and there was like one player that he had to beat, and like he just made the defender just make it so easy for him to just take the ball off him, and it was just like... What are you doing? Why are you even at the club? Why are you even bothering? You might as well just go elsewhere, because you're just not Chelsea standard, I'm afraid. You're just not. You know, £60 million we paid for you, and you've just got as much usage as a bloody wet mouldy sandwich on a bloody hot windowsill. You know what I mean? It's just so terrible, and you just need to go. Simple as that. I've just had enough of you, to be honest. Giroud did more than you, and he had more minutes on the pitch, and all you had was like, what, 5 minutes? 5 minutes on the pitch? Frustrating to watch, but I don't know what you say about that display. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't the perfect game. Of course we won, and of course I'm pleased because we've gained some ground on Tottenham and we've moved further away from Arsenal. Not necessarily Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are untouchable at the moment. Let's be true on that. I mean, Liverpool haven't even lost this season, and it's fucking Christmas. It's the new year, and Liverpool haven't lost. But I don't know, man. There's just some players that are not delivering. I mean, Willian. Again, I don't know what is wrong with Willian, but there is something about him that frustrates me. Is that when he has the ball at the byline, or when he has the ball when he's about to cross it, he doesn't. That's the thing, he doesn't. He slows down play and he passes the ball back. Why does he not just run to the byline, cut it back, then cross it? He doesn't do that at all. He just slows down play and then just plays it back. And then all we do is just pass. This is what I mean about Willian being so slow. He just doesn't have it in him anymore. And when you think we've got somebody like Hudson-Odoi right now, and speaking of Hudson-Odoi, there's been a bid from Bayern Munich of 20 million. And we're actually considering it. I mean, I swear to God, if we actually accept that 20 million from Bayern Munich for Hudson-Odoi and we still keep Willian, you might as well just shut the academy down because there is literally no hope for anyone. Absolutely no hope. But anyway, staying on topic, the game. Obviously, I'm going a little bit at a tangent with the whole Hudson-Odoi thing. I mean, Willian is just not good enough. And Alonso as well. What was that whole thing about that booking earlier in the game? Where he got frustrated. So he just threw the ball down and it gave him a reckless booking. What are you doing? You're a plank. Don't do that. Get on with the game. So then because you've got that booking, you've got to be careful for the remainder of that game. And it wasn't as if you were that good anyway. You were doing your normal stuff. I mean, there were times in that first half where I saw Alonso offering Crystal Palace on the right-hand side loads of space for them to do whatever they want. And the reason why that is because Alonso is too slow-minded to actually know when the winger is about to make a run. He doesn't mark the run. Instead, he just thinks, oh, here you go. Here, have all the space in the world to do whatever you want down that right side. You've got all that space. I don't know, man. I just don't. Alonso just frustrates me. And Willian does as well. They both frustrate me. But, like I said, let's reap in the rewards like we always do in terms of victories. It was a 1-0 win. And I'm happy. I'm very, very happy to end 2018 with a victory. So, I do believe the next game is, I think, it's at home against Southampton next week. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Southampton. Again, that's a winnable game. That is definitely a winnable game. And then after that, against Southampton, is the FA Cup tie, 4th round against Nottingham Forest. So, 2, you would say, relatively easy home games. I mean, don't underestimate the magic of the FA Cup because, you know, who knows who can beat anybody on that day. But Nottingham Forest, a good side. I mean, I can't argue they've got good players. You know, we spoke about a few years ago about Bradford City coming to Stamford Bridge and not doing anything. And what happened to that? What happened there? They actually beat us 4-2 at Stamford Bridge. So, like I said, magic of the FA Cup, don't underestimate it. But Southampton, before that, like I said, should be a relatively easy game. We should be able to win that. Providing we actually play a more direct game, stop passing the ball over and over again and actually create chances and actually show some intensity, actually give us a little bit more of an end product and, you know, actually kill games off. And rather than, you know, wait for the remaining like 10 minutes and hoping and praying that the opposition isn't going to get a goal and stop us from getting 3 points. You know what I mean? It's a bit frustrating to watch, just for a Chelsea fan at least anyway. But 1-0. We gained some ground on Spurs. We moved further away from Arsenal. You know, it's all good. It's all good. we've cemented that top 4 spot for a while at least. We just got to maintain it. There are a lot of improvements. Let's be honest. Anyway, let me know what you think of today's result in the description down below. I know I've been doing quite a lot of Chelsea videos of late, but don't worry, I intend on breaking that streak of Chelsea videos because I want to talk a little bit about Overwatch League at some point. So keep your wits about you. If you are a Chelsea fan, then obviously you're going to be watching this. But if you are an esports fan, be on the lookout. And if you are a gaming fan in general and you're watching this video, go ahead and check out Chris Marder Games. It's a damn good channel. Like I said, if you haven't been subscribed to that channel, I don't know what you're doing. It's an amazing channel. Really good. Trust me, it is. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I will probably see you in the aftermath of the Chelsea-Southampton game, unless I've got something else to talk about in between. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, I shall see you later. Hey door, and peace.